All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining Cloudinary Cafe session today. Today, we are going to talk about the Accessibility Act and the fact that it's coming and how is it impacting your media. We also want to give you a practical guide about how to do it right. My name is Zuzana Samaj, and I'm Principal Solutions Engineer at Cloudinary. I usually talk to customers in their pre-sales processes about their needs and requirements about media. And I'm very happy that Caroline is here with me today.
Hi, I'm Caroline Levison. I'm a technical writer here at Cloudinary. I've recently written a guide on accessible media, looking at the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines and seeing how Cloudinary features can help to address some of those requirements. I'm also heavily involved in Media Flows, which is Cloudinary's media workflow automation platform, and we'll be demonstrating that a bit later. I'm also excited to be introducing you to the Media Flows MCP server, which lets you use natural language to create your own flows. So we're going to be demoing that a bit later as well.
So first, a little bit of background. We have a lot of content strategists, for example, like Anna, who are working in the e-commerce brands, mid-sized companies, who got a task from legal that we must comply with the European Accessibility Act by June 2025. And content strategists or content creators are usually leading the media readiness. It means that every single image, every single video their team has ever created and published is in scope of this Accessibility Act. So before we move on to find out how to address this, let's speak a little bit about what is European Accessibility Act and what it covers. So Caroline, can you help me with that, please?
Sure. The European Accessibility Act is a directive passed by the EU in 2019. Enforcement began in June 2025, so just last month. Its goal is to harmonise accessibility standards across the EU for key products and services, including websites, apps, e-commerce, banking, media content, and more. For companies like Anna's, this means images must have accurate alternative text, which screen readers can read to help people with visual impairments. Videos need captions for people who can't hear the video, and in some cases, audio descriptions for people who can't see the video. Media players, such as the Cloudinary video player, should support keyboard navigation, and the user interfaces must be perceivable and operable for people with a wide range of disabilities. For example, perceivability can be to do with contrast, having light-coloured text on a dark background. It's also important to note that disabilities can be temporary as well as permanent due to your surroundings. For example, if you're in a really noisy environment and you can't hear a video, it's good to have captions so that you can actually understand what's going on in the video. So thinking about accessibility helps all of your users and not just those with disabilities.
Thank you so much. Let's look more in detail about how accessibility is actually touching the media and how to make media inclusive at a scale. So what Anna did after she got the legal note is that she created a to-do list. In this to-do list, she needs to audit thousands of existing images and videos. They will have to add alternative text, captions, or subtitles for all these media files. And they have to make sure that all new assets that are going to be uploaded from now on will have these accessibility features by default, because they don't want to go through this probably on a regular basis. And this is covering all the teams. It's covering the product, the content creators, the legal, and also the developers who are then moving these assets and displaying them on the front end of the website. Finding the tools that can help scaling the accessibility can be quite sometimes a challenge, but with Cloudinary, we already have all the tools and capabilities that can help with that. What we will cover are how to not only check the boxes with regards to compliance and accessibility, but how to reach more people and be more accessible, as Caroline said. So the right approach for the brand like Anna's will be that her brand will be ready for compliance. Customers with disabilities will feel seen and served. Media workflows will be there from the beginning and from the creation. It's not only Anna's mission to get this done. The whole company that is touching the media and anything with regards to accessibility will be involved. We would like to show you how to get it done, how to set up for this new requirement, and how to see it as a potential to reach more people instead of just checking the boxes. So now we will move on to the demo. we are going to use a couple of Cloudinary features and functionalities. We'll try to talk a little bit more about them to guide you in the right direction, just in case you need to use it today, tomorrow, or anytime in the near future.
Okay, so I'm now going to guide you through finding images that don't have alternative text in your media library and adding them automatically by generating captions for the images. I've got in my assets homepage, this is the Cloudinary console, I've actually got a couple of saved searches already set up. One is for images without text, and we can see we haven't got any images without text at the moment. And one is for images without alt text. So if we go to images without alt text, we can just see here. If we look at them and the metadata here, we can see that there's nothing in the alt contextual metadata. So all of these are the same. They don't have any alt contextual metadata. I've created a media flow which you can run to populate this alt text automatically. I'm going to show that running and then I'll show you what the media flow looks like to do that. Let's just select 3 assets for now. You could select as many as you want. And then we're going to run media flows. And you'll see here that it's called adult text and it's got an image here. That's just to note when we look at the media flow in the future. I'm going to run it now. And then when I refresh this, we can see it's going to put it on these 3 images. When I refresh, we should see that these disappear from, there you go, they've disappeared from this current search because these are the images without alt text. If we now go to images with alt text, we'll see them here. Now, if we look here, we see the description. A pair of sunglasses rests on the beach with the ocean and sky visible in the background. And we can see that this one, a well-dressed man wearing a tan jacket, sunglasses and a blue shirt stands in front of a colourful textured background. So you can see it's added alt text automatically for these. We haven't had to do a thing apart from press a few buttons. Now I'm going to show you the media flow that I just ran to do that.
Let's just pause here. So what is media flows, Caroline? What is it in Cloudinary platform?
Media Flows is our Cloudinary workflow automation platform. So it lets you create these workflows, which you can interface with things in Cloudinary, but also outside of Cloudinary as well. Like you can set up integrations with Akeneo, for example. Google Translate is a latest one that we've just integrated with. So it's quite powerful and means that if you're not a developer, you can actually put together these workflows and it's very easy to use. So here's the one I just ran, which is adult text in DAM. Okay, you can see Media Flows has these blocks and you can drag and drop them onto the canvas, you connect them and configure them. We've got a number of different triggers to start your flows. This one's the DAM app one, which I showed how to use. You select some assets in your DAM and run the app. Here we've got the title, which I pointed out, adult text. We don't have to put a description in, you can if you want to. This is the URL to the image that we showed on it. So you can put different images for different flows so you can easily find them. This is a good feature in terms of if you set it to no, then the blocks executed for each selected asset. But if you have this set to yes, you don't have to use run on each block after that. So it saves the headache of doing that. These are input parameters, which you can use when you actually run the flow. You can set up some input parameters if you need to. In this case, we didn't need to do that. This is the image captioning block. You need to be subscribed to the Cloudinary AI content analysis add-on. There's a free tier. You can use it for free. There's quite a large quota that you can just try out. And so this is saying use the asset from the DAM app. So for the selected asset that we've done, it's going to run all of these blocks and it's using this asset. Then we've just got add to logs, which we're adding the caption. So the Cloudinary image captioning add-on returns a caption and you can access that as a variable. And then this one updates the contextual metadata. We're using the same asset that was run from the DAM app. And we are saying to use the alt metadata key and to give it the value of the caption and to add that.
And Caroline, how would this flow change if you need to generate those alt text in multiple languages? Because this generates only in English and it's quite an easy flow to demonstrate and show it. What other blocks would you use if you need to do multiple languages?
So you've got this Google Translate block, which is a new feature we just added. You could put that into your flow after the captioning. You need to give it a Google API key and the string to translate. You'd insert the variable from the captioning. You can choose a language or let it auto-detect. It's got different languages and you can select which one you want to translate it to, let's say French.
Mm-hmm. If you want to have multiple languages, use Google Translate block multiple times.
You can copy and paste this. You've got a duplicate block here. So you can do that and then join it. You can still select the same thing to translate. So it's not going through multiple translations. It's just translating the original each time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is a great flow that will take everything we currently have in the media library and will translate it into multiple languages and generate those alt texts. But the manual process that you showed us in the media library doesn't really work for all the new assets. I don't want to go into my media library and do this all the time. So just to cover, this flow is covering mainly the assets that you already have. So all your legacy assets that you need to enrich with alt text. And maybe now we can take a look at the situation, how to make it scalable for the future, that this will happen automatically for any new asset.
Sure. So you'd want to do it on upload. So we could conceivably just clone this flow, remove this and put an upload block here and it would basically work in the same way. I want to show you our MCP server. We're going to give that a go and see if it can create the flow from scratch just using natural language.
And yeah, just to cover before we get to creating it through MCP server, what is MCP server and what is cursor that you are showing right now?
Okay, so an MCP server is kind of like a universal USB-C port for connecting AI models. It lets them plug into and use a wide range of tools and sources and prompts in a standardized way. It means that if you're in Cursor, which is a fork of VS Code, it's an AI-powered code editor. It means you can type into the chat what you want to do, and it will automatically do it for you just using natural language. I've got here my MCP tools set up. So I've got my media flows one. That's the only one I've got enabled at the moment. But there are a number of MCP servers that Cloudinary has created recently, which you can try out. So it means you can do things on your account just by typing into the chat interface, and you don't even have to go into Cloudinary at all to do it. So it's really cool. And I've got a prompt. So as you can see this morning, I just typed in what power flows have I got in my account, and it told me which ones I've already got. And I've got a prompt now, which I'm going to create a new chat, put that in. So I'm going to say, create a media flows flow that saves a description of the image being uploaded to its alt contextual metadata field. I haven't specifically said I want to use the upload trigger, but I have specifically said I want to use the alt contextual metadata field. Because if you don't say that, then it automatically presumes it's going to be a structured metadata field. So that's worth noting. I'm going to try running that. So what happens with MCP is it gives you these tools to run, but it doesn't run them automatically. So you have to give it permission to run the tools. So this is running the list blocks tool. So it's going to see what's there to use. Then there's another tool it wants me to run, get environment structured metadata, and then get environment info.
Looks like a great effect that it's just giving you a lot of text and doing the coding for you while you just gave it one sentence.
It's really cool. So now get flow creation. It's going to try and understand how to create a flow.
And just to cover that, this is just one way of how to create a flow. Very similar way is what you just showed us previously, that you were dragging and dropping the blocks from the left side on the menu to the main screen, and that's how you can create flows as well. So we are just showing you here multiple ways on how to create those flows if you wish to automate processes.
So now it's calling the create flow tool, so it should actually be creating it now behind the scenes, hopefully with a bit of luck. Always reminds me of Forrest Gump. Like, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Life is like an MCP tool. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, no, with AI, there's always risk that what will come out of that is not really something what you expected. But just in case you need to fix it, then you also have Cloudinary support who can help you fix the problem or set up the flow in the way how you really would like to set it up. So we are not leaving our customers by themselves with the problems. We like to help them.
It says it's successfully set it up, given me a link to the flow. It's told me there's an upload trigger. It's checking the image type. It's generating the description, and then it's saving the alt text. Okay, cool. So it's also given me some important next steps, which is to enable the flow, connect the Cloudinary webhook if it's not already configured, and review it before we do it for real. Okay, let's click that and see what happens. So here we go. Let's have a look. You can change the names of the blocks, whereas before you would have seen Cloudinary upload for this. It's actually gone and changed the names as well to make them intuitive. So it's got the upload trigger saying if the assets type is image, then it will run. So we need to set this webhook for it to work.
What is webhook doing in this?
So it's capturing the upload. When somebody uploads something to your product environment, it sends a webhook and then this catches it so that it can then run. In the future, there's going to be a feature where you don't need to set this anymore, and that's coming quite soon. Is the resource type equal to image, which is a string? This is just checking that it is actually an image. Sometimes it works with this, like I created this flow yesterday and it didn't have this block in it. Sometimes it puts it in. So that's what you get with MCP servers. This is using the Cloudinary AI Vision add-on, which is different to the one we use. We use the captioning one. So this is another way you can generate descriptions. It's the first time I've seen that happen. This is the prompt to describe this image in detail for accessibility purposes, focusing on the main subjects, actions, colors, and overall composition.
But this block is actually quite useful because maybe you want to have your alt text in the brand language. In that case, maybe you don't want to use the general alt text description, but you want to give it your own prompt. So this is just a different way to get to the results you want.
And it's also important to note that this one uses the Cloudinary AI Vision add-on. So we need to make sure we've got that enabled in our account as well. This is using the response from the description from the AI Vision output, and it's using the right metadata key, the alt metadata key. There's different things you can configure for testing. So you've got different action profiles. This is an upload, so this is fine. But you can also set it to different things for different triggers. We've got here a woman in lots of vibrant balloons. Let's try testing, see what happens. It will fail if we don't have the add-on enabled. Let's see.
I think we do have it enabled. I do a lot of tests in this account, so hopefully all the features of Cloudinary should be here. But just in case in the first testing you come across error, it should tell you if you don't have this add-on enabled. In that case, you have to go back to Cloudinary platform in the settings, find add-on section, and in add-on section, just subscribe to the add-on that you would like to use.
I've just realized something that we didn't do, which we were told to do. So I'm going to do that now, which is to enable the flow. You have to have the flow enabled before it can actually run. And I'm going to, so it's the image alt text generator. So just enable that here. We'll get back into it. And we'll try again.
Yeah, we'll be able to see the logs for every single step in this flow and how it runs. Before we finish, Caroline, could we also get through the accessibility guide? You created visual examples for images and alt text, but there is much more that you should think about with regards to accessibility for media. That guide will guide you through every type of media and the features and functionalities of Cloudinary you should think about using to make them accessible.
Yeah, and there's also like little demo apps in here as well, so you can try things out, like see how people with colorblind deficiencies can see images. So for example, someone would see the image in this way, and we've got things you can do to make it easier for people to see. So yeah, have a look at that guide. It's quite comprehensive. If we now go back to here, we can see it did actually pass, which is good. Let's see what the description was that it created. This is a striking artistic portrait set against a dramatic background of colourful balloons. The composition features a vibrant array of balloons in red, orange, and teal blue colours, creating a dynamic background. It's quite a long description, so maybe we want to change the prompt to make it a bit shorter. I'm not going to read all that out. But it's also worth, let's just see if we can see that in our media library as well.
It takes a couple of seconds, maybe with Vision AI, because it's so long, we'll have to wait to get it updated. But yeah, those are two ways we can generate different types of alt text depending on what we would like to do. For Vision AI, the prompt can be focus on SEO keywords that you want to focus on. And in that case, it will do completely different description of an image. So thank you everyone for joining in, and hopefully we will meet again on other Cloudinary Cafe sessions.
Thanks.